Hi there and welcome to Beanstalk Single Mums. If you're new here, I'm so glad you found us. This is your space for real talk, practical tips and stories to remind you you're not doing this alone. Today's episode is for all the mums who've been trying to get a passport for their child after separating from their ex. Maybe you finally saved up for that dream trip, started planning flights, thinking about the look on your child's face when they finally see the ocean, Disneyland, or even the snow for the first time. And then you realise your child doesn't even have a passport yet. And suddenly, what should be a straightforward form turns into a nightmare of court orders and legal grey zones. It can feel like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube with the blindfold on. There are form, legal terms, and a lot of unanswered questions. But the good news is, you can get through it. And today, I'll walk you through how. So first things first, in Australia, we have something called parental responsibility, which is usually shared, which means you both have to sign off on the passport application. Now, if you have sole parental responsibility, you're good to go. You can sign the passport form on your own. But if your parental responsibility is shared, you'll need the other parent's signature and consent, even if you do majority of the parenting day to day. Some parents have spent weeks chasing down their ex to get a signature for the passport. It's frustrating, exhausting, and unfair, but it's really common. If you're stuck in that loop, there are legal avenues to help you move forward. And I'll talk about that in a sec. So what if the other parent refuses to sign or is missing? Let's say your ex is refusing to sign or you can't contact them. Maybe they've disappeared overseas or they're simply not engaging. Then what? You've got options. You can apply to the Family Court of Australia and request for a court order. The judge will weigh in to see if it's in the best interest of the child that the child is issued a passport. If there's a history of family violence or the co-parent simply making things more difficult for you, a judge may weigh in and say that you can move forward without their signature. You can also apply directly to the Department of Foreign Affairs under special circumstances. This might apply if the other parent is missing, there's domestic violence order in place, one parent has completely abandoned the child, you have sole custody through court orders, or your child needs urgent medical treatment overseas. In these cases, a senior officer can grant you a passport, but this requires documents like police reports, affidavits, and so on. Do you need a court order? You don't always need a court order, but if the other parent isn't cooperating, your best bet is to get a court order. The judges will look at safety, parental involvement, and the best interest for the child. If you're nervous about court, you're not alone. It can be overwhelming, but in the long run, it could be the cleanest and fastest way of moving forward. What if you're worried that your ex will take your child overseas? If you're worried the other parent might apply for a passport and take your child overseas without your consent, you can apply for a travel block through court orders. You can also request to be notified if a passport application has been lodged. So let's talk costs. For kids under 16, a standard passport costs around $200, but this can change depending on urgent processing fees. If your situation requires court orders, you'll need to add legal fees on top of that. How long does it take? If all the paperwork is in order, you should get your passport in 3 to 6 weeks. But if a court order is required or if there's any complications, this could drag out for months. So if you are planning on going overseas and requiring a passport, it's best to plan ahead. So if you're in the thick of it, just know it is possible. The system is complex, so if you are planning on traveling overseas and requiring a passport for your child, it's best to plan ahead. Don't be afraid to ask questions. There is help available. If this episode has helped you out, please feel free to share this with another single mum who may need the same information. And if you want more info like this, please subscribe to our channel or head to our website www.beanstalkmums.com.au. We have a lot of articles covering a lot of different topics. You can also find us on social media at Beanstalk Single Mums. Catch you guys next time.